Hey guys, it's Karl and happy iPhone 13 launch day. It's another year, it's a new batch of iPhones. I literally just got these into the studio. You can see the iPhone 13. We've also got the 13 mini, 13 Pro, and Pro Max. So I decided to make very quick videos of each. I think people search them individually. If I'm wrong, maybe I'll do one combined video next year, but I thought we would take a look at probably the most popular one that sells, the classic iPhone 13. You can see that I've got this model in blue. It also comes in pink, starlight, which is actually a mix of silver and gold. Speaking of which, I've got that color in the iPad mini. That video's embargo is tomorrow morning, so if you already haven't subbed to the channel to see that, you can also get in midnight, which is like a dark blue, almost pretty much black, and the new product red, which I'll give you a sneak little peek. It's actually a real red. I've got that here in my 13 mini. It's a really deep and lush red, almost reminds me of apple red, like an actual apple. It's different from last year, which was a bit more salmony red. Anyways, this mini video will be my next one, and what you're here to see is the standard iPhone 13. So just like last year, we've got a very slim box. Of course, we have no charging brick. I know that Apple did get a ton of feedback and flack from that last year, but it is here to stay. You can see on the box, one of the key differences, the camera sensor is actually now diagonal as opposed to up and down from last year's 12. So let's take a look at this. We've got the blue iPhone up top. We'll quickly put that off to the side. Designed by California in Apple. If we get 1,000 likes on this video, I will tattoo? No, I won't tattoo that onto my body. It's just a saying that we've got here. Maybe I'll design a t-shirt or something, but we still have the standard Lightning to USB-C. Of course, the iPhone 13 line is still stuck on Lightning, and inside we have user manuals, warranty info, and sadly, white Apple stickers. And this year, I think I'm the only techie that's noticed this. The sticker is on environmentally friendly paper. That is very different. I am so used to feeling Apple stickers. I know the difference. I wish these were in the corresponding colors. A Sierra Blue Apple sticker would have been dope. There's always next year. The boot up and setup process of Apple products is usually the best in the tech game. I've actually set this up as a stock device, but you can take your older iPhone and kind of use that as a backup. You can see that I've got my daily iPhone 12 Pro Max as my daily, and eventually I'll transfer my home screen, all of my icons onto the 13. And if you're interested, if you like this icon pack, I'll leave a link below. I know a ton of you have liked them for your 12s. And of course, now that the 13 is rocking iOS 15, you can kind of do the exact same thing and customize your icons if you want. Once you've got your device fully booted up, this is kind of what it looks like. It actually is very, very similar to the iPhone 12. And a lot of people will say it's a very minor upgrade. And in terms of aesthetic and design, there isn't too much that differentiates both models. And that first telltale sign, like I mentioned, is that camera orientation. So you can see I've got my older iPhone 12 here. Actually, both of these models are in blue to give you a better sense of what the shades of blue are. But you can actually also see, in addition to the orientation being different, the actual cameras are larger on the 13. And even though they have the same megapixel count, so both are 12 megapixel sensors, the 13 has brand new larger sensors. And that's why we actually have to move the sensors over to accommodate for that larger lens size. The biggest changes are coming to the ultra wide camera, and we do have the ability now to shoot in macro. So I'll do full camera testing. Obviously, I just got these in studio, so they are very brand new. Haven't even shot one photo with them yet. And as you turn around the device, the other key big difference is the notch size. So that has now gotten significantly smaller on the 13. It's still not completely gone. You still have some sort of notch, but honestly, I haven't really noticed too big of a difference, especially because Apple doesn't utilize any of that space in that notch area. I wouldn't say that's a huge incentive to upgrade. Other than that, the screen size is identical, so 6.1 inches, and it does get a bit brighter this time, so 28% brighter, up to 800 nits. Unfortunately, the iPhone 13 line is still stuck at 60 hertz, and if you want that 120 hertz, that Pro Motion, you'll have to upgrade to the Pro models. So kind of off of the bat, if you already own the iPhone 12, there isn't as much of an incentive to upgrade to the 13, whereas if you had, say, the 12 Pro, the 13 Pro has that screen that everyone wants. Other than that, they are pretty much identical. The 13 is actually a 1/4 mil thicker and 20 grams heavier. I don't really notice the thickness as much, but when I hold two devices kind of in my hand, I feel that extra weight, I feel that extra heft, and that's mainly due to the battery inside. So I think this is one of the biggest or best slept on features of the 13. We now actually have an improved battery size, and I know that we'll need a full teardown from, say, iFixit to see the actual milliamp hour, but Apple claims you can get over an hour more usage. I believe those numbers are right. I'll have to double check. And on the Pro models or the Pro Max, I think you get around 2 hours. So that's a pretty big deal. And I'm actually a huge fan of that. I am totally on board with having a device a couple millimeters larger just so my battery can last me the entire day. It's the device that you spend your most amount of time on, and especially when we go to the Pro Max, my daily, I find that, my current device right now just doesn't do it for me a year down the road. And I know most people hold on to their devices 2, 3, sometimes even 4 years, and over that time, battery life is what degrades the most. Internally, we've also got the upgrade to the A15 Bionic, and of course, it's a powerhouse chip. Apple now builds all of their silicon in-house. Yes, it is the fastest chip that they have. I'll leave, of course, a Geekbench benchmark score for you guys to check out. In actual day-to-day performance, is it that much better than the A14 Bionic? Honestly, in my quick time testing, I don't think so. I feel this is really more of a little spec upgrade. And in honesty, in just your regular day-to-day tasks, you won't really notice the difference. Maybe in the most graphic intensive tasks like heavy 3D gaming, you might notice a difference if you've got them both side by side. But one of the key features that relies on that extra power is one of their main selling features, which is cinematic mode, or I guess portrait mode for video, a basic layman's terms for it. You can see that it's its own separate swipe over feature on the camera app, and that gives you that depth of field, that bokeh field in the back, and you can always change that after the fact, just like you can on portrait mode. So of course, full testing will have to ensue. I'll try to create a vid this weekend when I head up north or maybe play some golf. You can see my terrible swing. Yeah, that's one of the main features coming to the 13 line, and that is applicable to the entire 13 mini, and 13 Pro models. Also coming to the camera is Photographic Styles, which isn't just a simple filter, it's actually segmented mapping. So if you choose to have a style that's, say, a bit more warm or, say, cool, it will still take your proper skin tones. When you do apply that, I'm gonna put a quote, a filter, it isn't really a filter necessarily. It still keeps all of that information. So you've got a bunch to choose from. You can also tweak them on your own, but just keep in mind, once you do set them, you can't change that in post like you would, say, for cinematic video or portrait mode. Anyways, I've got a ton more testing to do with the iPhone 12. This was just your basic first look, your setup, of course, the unboxing to check out the colorway. I do have all colors shipping to the studio, so hopefully I can do a quick little color comparison. I know that you guys love those vids, and I'm always kind of keen to see what the best color option is for the iPhone, but I am kind of in love with this new blue option. I love that it's a bit more muted than the older, or I guess darker iPhone 12. I'll quickly bring that over again. And personally, the first thing that you should always order is a skin or case for your phone just to give it some protection. So I've got mine on the way from D-Brand. They've got so many different color options to choose from, and you can also go full on with their grip cases. They come in these nifty new little boxes, and I wish I had one because my 12 Pro Max, literally a week before I upgraded to the 13s, fell out of my pocket, and you can see the back glass is just shattered. So if I had a grip case, this probably wouldn't have happened. But anyways, this is the iPhone 13, your very first look. Up next on deck, I think we'll check out the 13 Pro. I will leave that vid linked up this way. Then we'll get into the 13 mini, 13 Pro Max. I'll do them all. We'll catch the rest of you guys in one of those next vids. Peace.